Fruit festival. That was fun. A little bit difficult to get to, but it reminded me where I grew up with horses all around and everything, because I was heavy into horses growing up. Of course, we had horses, but that was fun. Fruit festival. We ended up talking spiritually for about 3 or 4 hours, it seemed like. It was amazing. It was fun. Got some good watermelon there. They had some jackfruit, a little overripe, but they had some jackfruit. Those are $100 jackfruits. You ever see a jackfruit on a tree? I never have. Look how big they get. Huge. 50, 100-pound jackfruits. Holy moly. But it was good. It was really good. And I got a book from a lady that for children, a yoga book. We'd like to carry that maybe. Nice little yoga book. And I told him I would get him the book, Eating Like Monkeys. Oh, I can't wait for that book to come out. Great book, talking about children and learning iridology. There were some children there, so we had some fun that way. And I don't know whether to mention any names, but thank you for this. This is a lady that, sweet thing, even her husband gave me a kiss. Yeah. She had like MS, bedridden, and now she's not. And she's a young woman. So she's got her life back. Isn't that neat? That is neat. Oh, yeah, I remember this one. Fruitarian for life. Oh, yeah, Lassie. All right, I got a whole new stack. Jen just came back from the mountains and gave me a whole new stack. Science news. What's in science news? This cancer fighting cancer cells. Interesting. Sniffing out fake news. And quantum shortcuts. Ooh, quantum shortcuts. Tame friction. Ooh, I gotta see what that is. All right. All right. So I hope you're all doing fine. I did have a lady that was confused about the lymphatic and kidney formula, so I want to talk about that a little bit. But I wanted to give you, before I forget it, I wanted to give you a little zinner, because I was meditating last night and I was thinking, how simple some things are that are somewhat difficult. But if you all want to wake up to God, it's just a simple matter of waking up from thought. Think about that. Think about it. To wake up to God, you simply have to wake up from thought. All right. Well, this is from Amber, suffering from MS. Just what we were just talking about. Look at that. Things don't happen out of happenstance. It's pretty interesting stuff. Hi, my name is Amber, and I am 38-year-old female. Wow, this female, she was younger than that. She was in her 20s, I think. But this is a very common neurological problems that they are diagnosed with MS or Lou Gehrig's are just out there all over the place now. The cerebellums are more involved, the mastoids here, you can just name it, the nerve rings in the eyes from chronic myelin sheath weakness, from chronic adrenals. So you have to have any problem whatsoever, any symptomology whatsoever, you just pretty much have to have adrenal problems and kidney problems. Filtration at the very least problems, and adrenals. Especially when you're facing anything like asthma or anything with breathing, not mucus and the pneumonia thing, but I mean actual, breathing, can't take deep breaths, stuff like that. This is neurological now. And so the adrenals are always involved. And the adrenals are always involved in all the lymphatic problems, which is everything. Why? Because they sit on top of the kidneys and control the kidneys. And then they also supply the autonomic nervous system with the neurotransmitters. That's a big deal. So it is a big deal. Those adrenals are just big deals, and they just keep coming up and coming up and coming up. Oh, look at this. She suffers from MS. I have 2 young sons, one of which always smells like he just ran a marathon. Yeah, you know what? When you can smell yourself, guys, that's putrefaction. all right, either from the milks or the proteins, the meats. You want to clean your body. So your body smells like the food you eat. It's that simple. You eat fruit, your body starts to smell sweet. I'm dead serious. You guys know that or doing it. You've been doing it long enough. So, and remember we said your poop's clean too. You don't stick. Remember, that's starch. You eat starch, your poop's going to stick to your bowel wall. And that includes coming out. To have nice, clean poopy, you have to have a nice, clean, raw diet. But, and if you smell yourself, not good. You know, it's one thing to have a piece of meat once in a while and eat a high fruit diet and vegetables, okay. But, you know, you got to clean all these proteins out of you because that's what you smell is proteins. I am reaching out because I am looking for some relief. Are you kidding me? I hope you're reaching out because you don't want, let's use their word, MS, you don't want a neurological problem anymore, right? I take that very seriously. MS, stuff like that, that's what our focus is, the regeneration of cells, including neurons. And you can. The MS is something we've done for so many years. You know, once in a while we get a tough case, but for the most part, almost everybody gets their remedy from that. Lou Gehrig's and MS. So you want to get in on that. And I've said this many times when it comes to neurologicals. 100% fruits, berries, and melons. Period. End of story. Nothing else. You want to get out of that chair, get up and walk, 100% fruits, berries, and melons, and nothing else. Dead serious. And then you're going after the endocrine gland system, you're going after the nervous systems, you're going after the kidneys, and the system that's bringing everything down. What system? Remember, no matter what symptom you have, you must first look at it from two things. The first, what side of chemistry am I on? What side of chemistry am I experiencing for the symptom to have pain, swelling? What side of chemistry must that area of my body be in, right? And you know it's not alkaline. You know it's acidic, right? So the second thing is what system in my body deals with the acid side of chemistry. And if somebody says blood, maybe you better get chemistry for dummies, because that's not the case. Blood gets acidic, you get a new body. So that's not the case. So there is the system that they've missed. And quite frankly, the massage therapists have missed. You know, there's plenty of us with higher levels of awareness to bring truth to this planet. And don't feel, if you get some good inner guidance, don't negate some of the things you're getting. You know, you guys are the ones that are developing yourselves. You're developing your ability to let go of constantly thinking. You know, when you constantly think, how can you hear anything else? Some people are always thinking with somebody, hey, what? Oh, yeah. You know, you're constantly thinking. To wake up to God is to wake up from thought. Stop thinking. Be awake. You know, thinking limits your awareness. It doesn't give you awareness, okay? That's what intellectuals have to get. Thinking is what ties you and what limits you and develops your mind. Well, part of the higher mind is what? The ego. You develop the mind, you develop the ego. And that's why you see people in higher levels of academics getting narcissistic and elitist almost. And it's like, what? You know, it's just the mind. You're just training your mind. Anybody can train their mind. Anybody can listen to the inner and listen to the masters and become psychic. Anybody can do anything you want. Any of you can do anything you want in the worlds of God. You just have to wake up to that fact. Who's keeping you down from that? Who told you you can't do anything? It's just learning how you do things. That's all. So, dear one Amy, or Amber, I'm heading off on the raw on this one. I'm getting up on the fruits, berries, and melons. I'm going after a detox program. I'm going to get my kidneys to filter if I have to friggin' dry fast. I'm going to get my kidneys to filter. I'm going to start pulling. If you have any brain lesions, you've got to get after the bowels. You got to get your sinuses to drain. I'd work on the neurolymphatics down the back here. Try to open up that cerebellum, hot and cold, on that cerebellum, back of the head and shoulder area. Work on your kidney lymphatics. You know, and start opening it up. Get yourself sweating. Open. Remove the acids. When you say, what's bringing my body down? Did I catch something? Did we all catch MS? No, you're creating this. Well, how do we create it? Chemistry is the doorway, guys. Chemistry is your doorway. Well, chemistry has two sides to it. You know, If you want to work with good and bad, then you look at chemistry as good and bad. They're just two sides with different effects. We can label it good and bad, that's a label, but they simply are two sides with separate effects. And man is living on the acid side. It's obviously changed that, and your world is totally different. A lot of great people at the fruit festival, and a lot of them have changed their ways. Although I met one guy, he said, I just heard of you yesterday, and I love you already. And I said, I love you too. Good-looking guy. You know, a young guy, 20-year-olds, good-looking. A lot of good-looking guys and gals getting into health. That ought to be good. I am wondering if this is genetic, as I had the same issue well into my teen years. Keep in mind, anything that deals with the cell and cell function. Cell function is structure function. Cells are structure, function. Interstitial spaces is how we fill them with fluid to get to the cells. Because how do we take care of a cell in your liver? How do we take care of a cell in your brain? Through the interstitial spaces. You know, we have lymph capillaries and we have vascular blood capillaries. And it's through these tiny little places that we're able to get things moving. But in looking at these tiny little crevices, these tiny little interstitial spaces that are like in bone and things, imagine acids getting trapped in these areas. Much more difficult as lymph becomes more acidic and hardened. These areas become locked. So very difficult sometimes to open this up. That's why you have to be so perfect to get to where you want to get to. You don't have to live a life as a fruitarian, but to get to where you want to get with MS, you do. You do, or with that, with chronic neurological problems. These are chronic neurological problems. As well as myself, you got to detoxify your son. Get the lymph system. But that's your sewer system, all right? You don't smell in their blood. You could. It can get nasty if you're a protein eater. Your blood can even stink bad. But your lymph system, that's your sewer system. And when I smell like dead animal. Well, you've been eating dead animals, you know, and it's just, that's the proteins we talk about. These are the proteins that rave havoc on cells, build up acidosis interstitially, You got to get them out if you want to smell sweet. I've recently begun watching your YouTube videos, and a lot of what you say makes sense. I'm about 10 days into fruitarian, and have felt some improvements in my sleep as well as my energy levels during the day. Now, you know, if you're having sleep problems, that's going to be the pineal gland. Now, this is your spiritual gland, Tishrtil, third eye. So you really want to open all this up here, pituitary and everything else, because what brings these things down? Acids. What system deals with the acid? The lymphatic system. And when you start backing up in the sinuses, and that's a mucus system. And you get all this pressure and all this breakdown in the head area, in the eyes, in the brain, the central nervous system. It's all about acids. So doesn't it make sense that if you want relief from what acids are doing to your cells, doesn't it make obvious sense that you have to get rid of those acids that are creating this problem? Yeah, I would think that's just number one common sense. And then how do I get rid of them? And that's the problem that the world has that you guys are learning is the lymph system in its more entirety. The kidney connection, the adrenal connection, the skin connection. That will answer all your questions about diseases, inflammation, acidosis, the breakdown, the atypical to the damaged or cancer cells. You know, remember, when someone says cancer, they're talking about a damaged cell. And we all put it right back in their face. Oh, you mean a damaged cell? Well, you can have a lot of damaged cells and you'll live and be fine. What about tumors? That's not cancer. It's cancers of a cell. Now, a tumor. What system was a tumor in? Blood? It's not a blood clot. That's a lymph clot. In other words, it's the lymph system. It just brings you back every time, back to the seat of the lymphatic system, every time. Just because most of the humans don't know about it doesn't mean it's true. You guys are the premier group of people. You know, you didn't come to my site for no reason. And a lot of it's spiritual. You know, we had some good spiritual talks. Well, you know, a lot of us are visiting, a lot of you guys now more, and a lot of you are opening up and then growing spiritually, and that's why I'm here. Getting healthy, it's just a doorway for me, but or this world, the human cell must come undegraded. Not good for the Homo sapien. I am currently on, I don't know how to pronounce that, every 6 months. So far I haven't seen what this medication is supposed to do, because you won't. Matter of fact, I had a Lou Gehrig's case in a wheelchair. And a gentleman, I would say in his early 60s, maybe 50s, upper 50s. And he had nobody to help him but his son. And his son was young. And you know, when you're in a wheelchair and you're trying to take care of, you're a young man or a young woman, particularly a young man, and you're trying to take care of someone like this, somewhat difficult, you know, because when you're down and you're in a wheelchair, you're dead weight when you're trying to move someone like this, transfer them or whatever you're trying to do, and can be quite a bit. So the son took his money and took off. I go, oh man, because I had him up, you know, pushing his chair a little bit. So I don't know who he went through, but he got an RN. Now I love RNs, at least those that are humble. But you have the other side of the RNs, as you all probably know that are RNs or LPN. So she said, we got a new drug. And it could have been this one. We got a new drug. And it's showing great. Oh, really? Oh, I wonder who told her that. All right, so I saw him, and he's telling me about this, about the, getting this nurse and everything, and going on, and I'm saying, no. That drug killed him flat dead. Killed him flat dead. I wanted to strangle that nurse. I wanted to strangle her. I was lose my cool. What the hell were you thinking? Killed him. And this has happened. I can't even tell you the cases that they've killed of ours. They were doing great coming out of it. Went on the pharmaceutical. Pharmaceuticals are toxic and deadly. Must be caution. If you think they're candy, you live in another world. So be very careful. She doesn't even see any symptoms. Most of them don't. And I tell you, you can't take, it's like steroids and everything else. You're trying to fight inflammation. If you're going to fight it, fix it. Go after why it's there. Don't try to treat it, and especially with steroids that have acetates at the end of their names, which is pharmaceuticals. You don't see progesterone acetate from the adrenal glands because it's alkaline. I mean, there's some wild pharmaceutical scientists. I don't know where these guys come from, but they're not very good chemists. They must have got them out of kindergarten. So you want to be chemists someday? I mean, no offense, but it's scary stuff out there. You guys in pharmaceutical world are bad people. I mean, you might be living under the rule that you think that what you develop is going to save mankind. That's because you don't understand what's suffering mankind. What you're doing with pharmaceuticals is suppressing all these things, and the end result is what we see with our children, mutated genetics. And then, of course, you love to juice them with the vaccines. I mean, this is an insane world. Allopathy is an insane world. Be very careful with it. It could be your death. All right, so I have tried so many different methods of self-care with no success. You have to get into regeneration, and it's not on this planet. You guys on this site are learning tissue regeneration, and you're proving it. How long have we been up on this site already? And look at what all you guys are doing. Look at the people you guys are helping. I mean, I'm getting stories of, look at Shane in Dubai and all that. I mean, you guys are just fixing up people all around the world. That's because you get it. And when you get the truth, you got it. You're done. You can move out. And it's because a lot of this, sweetheart, is treatment-based thinking. In the natural health field, it's so much treatment, just like pharmaceuticals, treatment-based thinking. We're just as bad, but not with toxic, deadly substances. Oh, I imagine there's some could kill you, I guess, but for the most part, you can drink urine, eat stool, and all that crap like that. It doesn't kill you. But it's still treating. Some lady over there was trying to convince me that urine therapy was fixing her up, and she's real short, definitely pituitary. You could really see that, and all the symptoms she was having, but the urine therapy was helping her. And I'm going, oh, honey, oh. But that's what this is. This is a treatment-based world. Well, that's why I'm teaching you there's no treatment to this. You can't treat any of this. These aren't diseases that you're suffering from. It's different levels of acidosis and genetic weaknesses within the tissues, the cells. And they both can be fixed. You can genetically remember your cells like you genetically remember them. I mean, you have to realize you just reverse how you've created these problems, because you've all created your own problems unconsciously. That's why I'm trying to wake as many of you up that will. And to wake up is to wake up from thought. To become awake to who you are, you have to wake up from the mind, and it's grab on you and a grab on your attention. It's your attention your mind has captured. It's like, hey, look at this pretty thing over here. What? And truth is over here. Another issue that is only have a bowel movement once a week. Yep, nope. Okay, so now you want to get on at least, I would get to number 3 and try 2-3 times a day. You could get 3 and a number 5. All right, so you could take one number 5 and say one number 3 even, but start with number 3. And if they're not successful at moving, you go up to number 5. But I don't want purging. You want to move naturally. You need help. This isn't a laxative though, but you need help. Remember, peristalsis is a neurological event. So you've got to build your nervous system up. Well, where do you get that? Adrenal glands, neurotransmitters. Your blood pressure is low. How low is your blood pressure? And as your adrenals fell, it'll just go right on down. Of course, all that, because you're losing your myelin sheaths, you're losing your neurotransmitters, your cardiac punch, you're losing all of that. Remember your 3 fingers. Remember your 3 fingers over the pulse line. When you're feeling your nervous system's down or your breathing's down, 3 fingers until your pulse comes. You got to feel your pulse. It's weak until it starts building stronger and stronger. Then take your hand off of it. You'll feel your other pulse on your right one. That also will come up with it. But then you'll start to breathe better. You'll feel that better. It's adrenal kick. And you just got to work on those adrenal glands. If it takes you 10 years, who cares? Some of you are pretty chronic in that level. And I don't know what to say about it. It's the nature of this world we're on here. So you got to get your bowels moving every day. I don't know what level of MS you're at. Are you immobile? Are you in a chair? Are you prone? Where are you at? But pooping is essential, and urinating is essential with goodies in it. So we got herbs to help us get going. Not stimulants or anything like that. No. Unfortunately, I have no idea how to correct it. I do. Another issue that I hope to hear a response in the future video. Thank you for your time and of the information you provide. You betcha, Amber. I take these neurological very friggin' seriously. If you haven't guessed, I take it all very seriously, to be honest with you. When you see what we got coming in here, it just ain't so good. All right, here's one. The name is Harold Smith. And hello, my name is Harold Smith, and on April 27th, 2017, I had an accident where I tore my ACL and LCL completely. And I also damaged my peroneal nerve, however you pronounce that, was injuries severely to a point that I had what's called drop foot. And when the doctor operated on me to repair my ACL and LCL, and he saw my nerve and told me when surgery was over that it was destroyed, I'm sending this message just because I want to know if I could do to get my nerve to self-heal. I had my tendon moved to part of my foot to be able to walk. Okay. Well, you're right, Harold. This is when you want to get into regeneration. All right, so let's assume, all right, we're going after this injury. We're not going where we have to, when your injuries don't heal, all right, so the bottom line is, what side of chemistry are you on when your injuries don't heal? Right, so you know that when your injuries don't heal, you're on the acid side of chemistry. And I would take a picture of my eyes to see what my body looks like, my legs, my hips, my structural system, parathyroid. And take a look at that. Because you want to get up there. Because if you can get up there and stay total raw for 1 year or more, that's when I see the most incredible bone regeneration that you can see. I mean, I've got pictures where, remember this quad that's on one of the videos that he fell out of his chair and his upper femur had snapped and healed at a 28-degree angle, bulging his right femur out, his right thigh out, had a big bulge in it, and his right foot was 2 inches shorter, plus extreme scoliosis to the right. At 11th month, overnight, over one night, 11th month, that leg pulled itself exactly straight. The bulge was gone straight. I mean, freaky. And the scoliosis was straight. I took these, I had x-rays done. Took them to a friend of mine, did x-rays. Took the x-rays to, the name was Dr. White at the time. He worked as a radiologist. He was their radiologist at St. Joe's. I said, Doc, you got to look at this. And he goes, God, I can't believe it. Fox News did the story. And they showed it right on TV. No medical doctor couldn't get a medical doctor to comment on it. It's like, you guys wouldn't be excited about something like this? Then obviously you're not into the healing profession. Anybody should get excited over regeneration of skeletal systems. Not just muscles and tendons and nerves. Nerves for sure. So, this is what you want to do. You want to get up there. I know you probably don't realize this, but fruit, berries, and melons, you want that nerve to regrow. And you can regrow new nerve pathways, let me tell you. Done it. Had a C3, C4, complete spinal cord separation, heavily plated up. 11th month, they got all new nerve pathways everywhere. I could punch her with the screwdriver when I first met her. I could punch her in the leg with a screwdriver and she'd never know it. I could cut her leg open with a razor blade, she'd never know it. 11th month. Where am I now? My right little toe. Where am I now? My big toe. Where am I now? My left foot. Give me five leg licks. Now I have her video. I did her cold so she doesn't look like she's doing it with speed, but keep in mind, complete spinal cord separation, dead to the head. So amazing. So, and that was fruits, berries, and melons. So stay with that for as long as you can, and then move with some green drinks. Power up with some alfalfa. We've got some superfood blends that are way up there with some greens for bodybuilders and stuff. All of our superfoods are extremely high in calcium and all the goodies. So any of them will do. But you want to work on the parathyroid a little bit. I get a glandular for that, say 2-3 times a day in a 50 milligram glandular. I don't know where you are in height and pituitary. You'd have to look at that. I definitely go with the adrenals and steroid use. You want to increase steroid use as anti-inflammatories. You've got to get your kidneys filtering to remove any acids. Even from the surgery, you have acids in tissue from the damage of tissue and damaged cells. You got to clean your lymph nodes, because where is your cells that get damaged, either from trauma or surgery or from acids eating up on them in the body? Where do your cells go to be dealt with by the human body? Where is the pathway? Not into another tissue. Not metastasized. These guys are lunatic. No, where do they go? To the lymph nodes, macrophages. So open your pathway to the lymph nodes. And go after regeneration. Use the bones connective tissue formula, but on top of getting the body alkaline again, because in an acidic environment, you're just going to get more scar tissue. The nerves are not going to heal, and you're going to see the effect of the trauma from the surgery even. So you want to really deal with this in the right way. Get on the 100% raw, go after this, and you'll be fine. It'll regenerate the foot, regenerate the nervous system, realign it. I mean, it's amazing stuff. Yeah, we've seen some amazing stuff, guys. Hello. So much love to you all. Back at you, Shannon. Back at you, baby. Growing goiter. We don't want that. So if you're growing a goiter, could we use another word for it? Growing tumor? So, goiter, tumor, cyst, which channel, which system are we in? There's only one. Only one. And if you don't guess that one, there's a problem listening to my site. The lymphatic system. It doesn't sound like a broken friggin' record. That's because they haven't played that record before. And so no one knows about that record. So it's a repeat, 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 repeat. These are the lymphomas. Lymphomas, lymph, swelling, tumors. So you really got polyps, all these things. So you really want to get your lymph system fired up. Get those kidneys filtering, go after the kidneys, adrenals, the lymph system, clean up the bowels so the head can drain better. Remember, everything kind of just sits on top of everybody. So as you clean and clean and clean, you unstack, believe it or not. I know that sounds ridiculous, probably to medical doctors, but I've been in this field long enough to watch stacking. And I just tell you what I've seen. So that's how I'd go after that. I'd nip this in the bud now. Doesn't matter about the immune response or anything like that. Doesn't matter about that. Okay, my question. You have spoken about goiters in a few videos. However, I am terrified. Well, then call Roseanne Calabrese. Roseanne Calabrese, where are you, my dear one? But she's just one of hundreds, sweetheart. But Roseanne Calabrese is a doctor of acupuncture medicine. And she can tell you about her big goiter. But she's just one of many. And don't, I'll say this to you guys. Don't walk with fear and don't be terrified. If you want to be terrified if you go to a medical doctor, because one of the ways they get rid of goiters, and you want to keep your thyroids. It's ridiculous. These goiters are easy to come out. Don't be terrified. Be strong. Be a woman warrior. Is this a woman? Yeah, Shannon. Be a woman warrior. Don't be scared. This is just a body you're using. It ain't you. It's a body. And I'm teaching you how to take care of your bodies, okay? And how to get these tumors out and all this inflammation and all the swelling and the polyps. Right? Right. So don't be scared. Get strong. Get focused. Get awake. Get knowledgeable. Ask questions. I love questions. Those that people that ask questions that are truly asking questions, not being irritants, but truly wanting to know, the answers are there for you. Absolutely. I have had a goiter for about 4 years, long enough. All right? Now you know the system you have to get on and get with to get it out of there. There's no other system. Your goiters don't come out with the blood, because blood doesn't come out. There's no eliminative organs to the blood. Thank you. There's cleaning organs to the blood. Which one? Which is the main cleansing organ of the blood? The kidneys? No. The spleen. And that I know of. I have fired MDs and been fired by MDs because I won't have surgery to remove my thyroid. Oh, there you go. Well, that's their protocol. So you can't go to a medical doctor, guys, and get on them because they don't know what you know. If they're not willing to learn, and that's what they do. So unless they're a higher level aware individual, that's just what they do. So you can't get mad at them. I come down on them because of their philosophies and their theories are just so deadly. And that in itself is hurting so many people. Yes, but when you're talking that way, that's what they do. That's all they know. So, that's what you're going to get every time. And even to some naturopaths. But not this one. You understand that to get that tumor out of there, how do you get tumors out? What system are you dealing with? And you want to get it out. And I hope you have your tonsils. All right. My thyroid levels are borderline. Yeah, I'm not worried about those. You just got to get the tumor out. Doesn't matter what your levels are doing. They're only being affected by the acids. When you get high acidosis, things are on fire there. So you're affecting cell function, you're affecting the inflammatory processes involved, of course. You've got all your markers are going up and down. You're it's normal. The body's fighting acids, proteins. I have been put on a low level of nature thyroid. I would say I wouldn't touch your thyroid. you're not eliminating the waste from your thyroid in the first place, and probably your throat as well. You're going to increase the function of your thyroid, which increases metabolitic waste. Anytime you increase your activity of anything, you're also increasing in ingestion, or you should be, because you're looking for energetic principles, but you're also increasing metabolitic waste because you're increasing cell activity. Cell metabolitic activity is increasing. I'm running, I'm creating what? A lot more lactic acid, right, at the muscles. But I'm also creating all the other ones because I'm inhaling deeper. I'm creating more phosphoric, boracic, carbonic, all types of acids are being increased. From just increasing activity of everything. So, as long as you know that you're removing those acids, you can be as active as you want. But if you kick up, this is what I learned years ago, when you've got a tumor around a gland, don't touch the gland. Go after the lymph system and get it out, and then you can pop it up, but it'll come up naturally when you do that anyway. I found your videos and protocol a few months ago. I went from keto paleo diet to vegan about 3 months ago. Kick it up. Kick it up to fruitarian, honey. You got a tumor, and these other low levels, not your level. I have been off fruit for most of the day. Then I eat veggies, usually cooked in some rice or quinoa for dinner. All right, now take another step. Eliminate the quinoa, eliminate the grains, eliminate all of that. Eliminate the veggies. Time to go and get this tumor out. You had it long enough. All right, I'm working up to a full foot detox. Get it, baby. I do feel great. I am also on the herb protocol. I am on week 4 of herbs. Yeah! And get your kidneys filtered. If you have to drive fast for 24, 36, who cares? Get your kidneys filtering, and that puppy will come right out of there, honey. Guarantee it. Everybody loses their goiter. If you can't get your goiter out, you got some serious lymph node problems and serious stuff, and that, you never want to stop doing that. Because not having a thyroid, ask anyone that's had a thyroidectomy, not a fun time. And happiness is also not a fun thing either, because generally they remove the paras, and that creates skeletal, depression, all kinds of crap. Ugh. I mean, it just gets into these things. That's why it's so important to move your lymph. Think about moving your lymphs just in your friggin' finger. The lymph system to the finger. See what I'm talking about? There's miles of precious pathways in the human body that get glomulated with acids and proteins. We want to open and free the body of these acids so it can feel light and free and happy and no tumors and swellings and things like that. All right, my dear? All right. These are all typed together. Put together here. Guys, look at the horror of what's going on with kids. I don't read this. I'll cry. I don't want to read that. What is it? Let me see here. Holy crap. There was a pretty little baby there at the fruit festival. And, you just... They told me now they want to give the Hep B right at birth. So these guys are just natural born killers. I don't care if a medical doctor doesn't like what I'm saying, then change it. You're bringing this kind of energy to yourself. You put our babies full of chemistry. You put them right immediately through thimerosal. I had a little, she was 18 months by the time I got her, but at 4 months, this is a Texan baby, they gave her a Hep B backloaded. She went into liver failure, blindness. Her left eye wiggled to the left. I mean, her eye just turned, this one just turned like it was looking that way. So it was definitely neurotoxic. You could see that. Shut down her nervous system on this side. And she had seizures. I would have probably, if I'd have been that mother, I don't know what I'd done with the medical doctor. He'd have had to move real quick. Is what you did to my baby? Because of what? Stupidity? This sad stuff. I saved the baby. I got the baby's eye straight. I got the baby out of seizures, but Jesus criminy. Oh. I'm going to finish what I said. I apologize for that. My goiter is growing. I am terrified. Get on the fruit right now. all fruit. Get on dry fasting. Get your kidneys filtering. You might try on your lymphatic formulas, do the lymphatic 5. Either do lymph node 5 or lymphatic 5 capsule or tincture, and don't put anything with it. That's strong enough. Just use one lymphatic and use the 5s. But get those kidneys filtering. Get all that going. Of course, the change in my eating is bringing up emotional stuff as well. Yeah, because to have this done, you have to have the adrenals done, and that's your emotions, I find myself crying, scared, and concerned that I am going to end up having surgery anyway. No, you're not. So you're going to have faith, sweetheart. You got to, join us and feel confident. We're here for you. All of us are putting our arms around you, but you have to do the work. This is your job. Roll up your sleeves. I can just tell you, I've gotten rid of hundreds of goiters. Hundreds of goiters. Hundreds, honey. Hundreds. But you got to treat them like a tumor, and that's what they are. You get your kidneys filtered and go out to the lymph system. I don't know what else to say, because that's how I get rid of them. So the question is, I know that you have worked with people that have gotten rid of their goiters through this protocol. I have realized that everyone is different. What is a simple, straightforward protocol to get rid of this freaking thing? 2 kidney formulas, an endocrine gland formula, an adrenal formula. Of course, you're already on the kit, so we all have 2 lymphatic formulas in the kits too. If it's growing a little bit, I'd leave off 1 and just hit 1. I turn it to number 5. Definitely GI broom, stomach and bowel. You want to open up this. I would work on my neurolymphatics. Work on my neurolymphatics right here. Right? Each side of the sternum here. Work on my neurolymphatics here. Neurolymphatics. Get up. Sweat. Don't take anything for your thyroid. This thing that you're taking for your thyroid could be making it grow. Do not take anything. Matter of fact, don't take the endocrine gland formula. I've got something in there for the thyroid. You want to just stay with the adrenals. It's just berries, but it's still, I don't know. Just fruit. Well, you know what? You really want to hunk on this? Then give me 20-day grape diet. Get those jammies, those Concord, seedless Concord grapes. You want to go on a grape diet? Throw some lemon in there if you want. So grapes and lemons for 20 days. You can do it. And if you want to dry fast a day or 2 out of that, do it. Hit it. This is common. I generally put people on 40, so I'm being nice to you. 20. Go for it. You want the freaking thing out? You got to go for it. Know what you're going for. Know the system you're going. Don't get panicked. You'll get it. You're not going to keep you keep your thyroid, but keep going. If you do have a lymph node problem, which I doubt, and it can't come out, there's other ways to get it out. We'll help you then. But I doubt it. Doubt it, honey. Just fruit, just grapes, more fasting, special herbs in higher dosages. Nap. I'll tell you one word here I get. Relax. If you panic and you get tight, what are you shutting down? Kidney and adrenals, that's your doorway. So it's ironic, but it's almost the master's training you how to kick back. Quit thinking. Pull yourself back from it. It's just your body. It isn't you with the problem. It's your body with the problem. And in today's world, welcome to the planet Earth. You got a pretty bad body to come in here with. Straight issue. Issue out of the chute is problematic. So we got serious stuff. That's why this site is serious site, guys. I take my healing in this site very seriously. And you guys I am so proud of you and what you've done for others. And honey, don't get freaked out. Get focused and relax. Get a hold of Roseanne Calabrese. You'll be able to find her number or call here. And she'll help you relax, honey. With all this said, I have so much gratitude for this experience. This goiter health scare has changed the course of my life. Now you're seeing the spiritual side of this. Absolutely why. You hit it right on the head and you learn from it. Absolutely why. And it'll help to free you. And let it free you. Let it free you from your bodies, because all you guys are just using physical bodies. It's not who you are. Your thoughts aren't who you are. That's your thinking process. Your emotions isn't who you are. It's your emotions and how you have feelings and how God has feelings and love and hate. So then who are you? If you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, you're not the physical body, then who are you? Could it be the awareness that I'm talking to right now? That which is awake in you, that which is listening to me? Your bodies are just mechanical beings. It's your consciousness, it's your awareness that's who you are. I am now a health coach. Woo, woo, woo. And you notice it's a job a lot of people are looking for, health coaches today. But you guys are more than health coaches. You guys know how to take them from Hellville to Wellville. Woo, woo. So I see this all as a blessing. Good woman. Good woman. This is a spiritual woman, guys. Again, I am so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Shannon. Little goiter woman. Little goiter. I've had them like, oh, you got a third chin sticking out there, do you? Yeah, you'll get that, sweetheart. Interesting, the tattoos on the right side and the goiter is more swinging on the right side. That's just interesting. What do we got here from Angel? Angel. I am wondering if you can answer some questions about hydrocephalitis or similar. I am born with congenital. I have had 7 brain surgeries. Are you serious? I've had 7 brain surgeries. I was wondering about your view on this. I have 3 stents in my head with 2 tubes coming down into the abdomen. Holy crap. Oh my God. Holy crap. My God, although I would love your case. I want to know your thoughts on cause, as well as can you detox enough in order to get the shunts removed? Absolutely. Here's the thing. Remember that when you see mutation and you see things closing off or creating new pathways or gangling up, all of these things are a product that happens under the acid side of chemistry. It's a highly mutative, a catabolic, if you want to put it in those words, cationic in that way, medium. It strips, it inflames, it swells, it hardens, it closes off. The alkaline side of chemistry is the electrolyte hydration side. It hydrates, it reduces swelling, it opens up closed places, it removes tumors. You see what I'm saying? Because of its action, its hydrating action. It reduces inflammation, it reduces edema, because edema is the product of acidosis. So all of these things, even in the mutation of the vasculars and the nervous systems and things like this, fruit, berries, and melons, upper circ, brain, and nerve, and I'm headed off to go after the kidneys, the adrenals, the endocrine glands, the bowels. But I'm going to stay on upper and lower circulation. And I'm going deep into the raw food community, deep into the fruits, berries, and melons, deep into the dry fasting, where I'm getting my kidneys to filter better and watch the regeneration. The body will regenerate it as it's needed. That's just what we see. Because in and of ourselves, we can't do a thing. It's chemistry and how you use it properly. And the botanicals, which is chemistry and how you use it properly. What am I using herbs for? Not for diseases that don't exist. That's a man-made theory that seems to kill a lot of people and doesn't seem to have a beginning or end, because no one seems to find out why, and neither can they find a remedy. It's because it's all fake crap. Cause and effect rules creation. And unless you get with that, whether you're a medical doctor, naturopath, a biochemist, NASA, cause and effect, if you don't get with it, you lose a lot of life trying to figure it out. This makes me sick. But this is where we're going. in a world like this where all these levels are mutating and the ducts that carry things. I mean, it's just, but you want to get everything drained out. It's how you regenerate. It's why I gave you that case of the realigning of the human body, the regeneration of the skeletal system. We see it with the nervous system too. In cases of Lou Gehrig's that are in wheelchairs that are modeled and can't speak or talk, getting them unmodeled and speaking and talking and walking. I mean, it's regeneration. If you have degeneration, you have regeneration. Because one group of people are working on theories that have no basis in anything I know of. They don't understand regeneration. Because they don't understand it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I mean, you'd be pretty hell bent to go to a world where just one side exists. The only where you get the one is in consciousness, and that's where the two come together and become one. You don't just find a world of just negativity. Although the cycles can get you pretty close. Oh my God. Yeah, and I tell you what, I'd also make sure my spinal cord is always straight. And of course, getting the lymph system moving down and working on the neural lymphatics down the spinal column is vital. Getting the kidneys to filter and just getting everything moving and eliminating. Elimination is just as important as consumption. Remember that. And you're working on all these things because you're actually after regeneration. To get regeneration, you have to remove that which is mutating. And that even gets into the consciousness of the cells and genetic memories. Well, we can't have time. This is just a short video I'm throwing together. So you guys, I'm still here and I'm working on it. I'm trying to do more videos for you guys. Don't. We're going. So many things happening. Cool things. But you want to regenerate, open, clean, clear, and elimination of the metabolitic acids in the body is key to achieving this, meaning kidney filtration. Pee in a jar, about know where you are with that one. All right, this is that's where I'd be going. Very much into the high fruit, berries, melons. I'd be on upper circle, lower circle, brain and nerve. I'm after regeneration of these tissues. I'm after opening and getting the inflammation out, getting swelling out. If I have to, creating new ductal pathways, which the body does. The body has years. What we don't know because we can't see it is, do we get new lymphatic pathways the same? Lymph nodes can be rebuilt. You know, you can rebuild new vascular blood vessels. That's assured. New neural I proved that through the years. New neural pathways, yes, but you can't be on low level energy to get that done. That's way up there at the fruit levels. So we've seen both of those. We don't know about the lymph system. There's so many things that we know that no one else knows, but there's things we don't know yet. You know, and we'll see. That's my thoughts. And that's where I'd be going. All right, here's Brandon. What would you do when you have a life-threatening case that isn't getting better and is overly sensitive to herbs? Okay, now, this is another aspect of this. A lot of you guys are working as healers, so some of these questions you can write in like this in relationship to your clients. You get, I've got an emergency number. And that's for only those people that are working with others that have these cases, because let's be truthful, there are some cases that are very advanced and they might not make it this lifetime. There are some of you have had them. I've tried to help him through them, and there's a couple of you lost a couple, but impossible dreams in the first place. You know, you just go and run and do the best you can. For the most part, you're going to save 90% of your people. I mean, that's a very realistic figure in my field, 90%. But you're going to have 10% of the people that are so advanced. Just the lymph nodes are either hardened to a rock or atrophied, and you're just not going to get some of these cases. And you're just going to keep working and working. Some of these cases, they're going to learn all they can. Next life, they'll pick up with what they've learned. Remember, you're educating the soul. You're not educating the physical body. That doesn't have a self-awareness to it. It's just a chemical body, a cellular body. So who are you talking to? Who are you training this? And that soul, if it leaves, it'll retain this information because it's still attached to the mind. So whatever you're teaching, whoever you're teaching, they'll take it with them when they go. I don't have a thing about death, guys. That doesn't exist. You're just transitioning from one state to another state. That's all it is. You're dropping one body and getting another. You don't become bodiless unless you've worked yourself in these higher levels. So if you're sensitive to herbs, let's see how you're looking. Go to teas and see how they do. The Heal All tea is an incredible tea. It still has the power of the herb. See if they do better with a tea. Try the Heal All tea, the 3-lug tea. See if they can deal with capsules at all over anything. If herbs are too strong for them, you see if it's some of them, like the kidney ones, the endocrine glands and the adrenals, these are much more gentler herbs and things, and some are berries and stuff like this. See what muscle test. See what formulas that they can get with and can't get with. You know, I'd muscle test them, but I can tell you that the diet is a key essential. Anyone that's about to lose their body needs to be off fruits, berries, and melons. Yep. Each case is different, so you'd have to call me on the case. Nosebleeds and bleeding through pores of skin on half a dropper full. Holy crap! Well, of what? Which one? See, I wouldn't use that one then. You might have to use the bleeding formula on this client because they could have internal bleeding. It shows you how thin the capillaries are on this. So this person is very, 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 very acidic. When you have capillaries that are bleeding, you also want to think of what else? Parathyroid gland. You want to think of connective tissue here as well. Start strengthening this soul up as well. Severe fatigue, inability to fall asleep no matter how tired. Wow, that could be the pineal gland there, testosterone. And they could be preparing for the light too. You never know. I mean, this is real-time stuff, guys. At least on our field, if you're going to leave, we're going to give you a kiss before you go. Medical gives you a kick in the ass. Big difference. There was this big black lady I had, and I couldn't save her, but I pulled her out of hospice. She was home. I got her out of the hospital. Actually, she was in the hospital, I think, when they first called me. They got her home. And she'd been back and forth. She'd been on some chemo, I believe. I got to remember this case, but she was so happy. She felt so good on the fruit. She was a big woman, though. And she eventually passed, but she was so happy because all her children are there. She passed it home with her family. She saw her spiritual guides. I mean, all good stuff. So, you have to realize that the next world is generally much better than this one, guys. I have to tell you. So, it's just that we create these things and we have to learn to uncreate them. But these make good cases to learn by. But if there's something like this, I wouldn't give them any herbs. If they're bleeding through the skin and bleeding, that just shows you connective tissue is so weak in this person. Been acidic for years and years, highly acidic. And so don't feel bad you're coming in on top of this trying to help these people. Don't feel bad. Do everything you can. That's all you can do is everything you can. 100% raw is a given. If it's too much for them, it's too strong, give them some steamed vegetables once in a while just to ground them. Just steamed vegetables to ground them. And I would do more of the sprouts. See? The adrenals are down. You can tell that severe fatigue and stuff like that. Of course, that controls the kidneys and filtration. Remember, you've got to get filtration. No filtration, I don't know how you get people better. I don't. Skin, sweating. If you can't get it through the kidneys, get them up sweating. The thing is, when you're this advanced, not too much heat. Too much heat will take the nerves down. All you guys with neurological conditions, you know that. MS, Lou Gehrig's, you get hot, you get weaker. No! Yes, because heat is acidic. You're already burning up with acidic acids. So you go to the cold side. Might be invigorating, but it's the alkaline side to keep the nerves up and to keep things running. And proof is right there when we watch it. We can see the acid in the base. All right, so didn't help with sleep, but uh-oh. All right, so diarrhea, but the GI is locked like a rock. Holy crap, nervous system's way down. So you're going to need to get on a stomach and bowel number 2 or 3 to get everything opened up. Kidneys won't filter even on herbs daily. Trouble filling bladder. Holy crap, suicide, pineal plus pituitary glandular didn't help us sleep. No kidding. Melatonin does. Well, you know what? I'll do this. I'd give them a little pineal glandular, maybe even one twice a day on top of melatonin. That's what I would do. Keep that up because you want to keep that up. Boy, it sounds like their system's shutting down. All I can tell you got to keep the kidneys at least peeing and keep the bladder up. I'm seeing connective tissue big time, suicidal and all this. I'm seeing parathyroid issues all over the friggin' place. So, get a picture of the eyes. When you have a case this bad, if you can just hook the picture of the eyes to this, and I'll let Chris and Jen know that that's acceptable. I'm just going to go over it real quick to look at this case for you, because that's where you're going to see what kind of where they are and what they're up against. So, Brandon, you just keep moving. Don't let a case that if you can't get this, keep on going. But don't let this one go down. I mean, if they go down, they go down. But you can't take it personally. These are people that have had a lifetime of this, and you're trying to come in on this and save them. So you're all doing your best you can. But you can see why we all cry once in a while here. But just remember, cause and effect. This is all karma. Each and every one of us created everything that we're experiencing, whether we realize it, we remember it or not. And it's just becoming awake so you do remember things. Get out of your minds. But I would be all fruit for sure. I'd be fruits, berries, and melons, and maybe maybe a little steamed veggies once in a while, just to give them a little you know what I'm saying? Just to make them happy. Because you want to make them happy. Even if it's a little piece of chocolate, who cares? Anything to make them happy. Pull them out of that suicidal thing and then go after the parathyroid. Because that pituitary might still be involved here with the shutting down of the parathyroid. You want to go there too. Start strengthening. Use the bleeding formula to stop internal bleeding so you can retain some blood there so they don't get anemic on you. Things like this. All these things like this to help them. It's a tough case. Some of these cases are highly advanced. I don't know, this came from guys, look at the horror of what's going on with kids. Let me give you this site. Mother forced to bathe her baby in bleach. I tell you guys, it never ends. It never ends with these jokers. It never ends. When you don't understand any part of truth, you don't understand the lymph system, you don't understand chemistry like you think they do, my God, they've got some of these chemical things that you just have to pull back and go, you know what? You guys don't even understand basic chemistry. How do you expect me to trust you understanding all the pathways of methylation and everything else? Bull hockey! You have to first learn how to cure people up from the simple side before you get complex. Then you maybe can understand some complexities. But to folk people up... Here's the site. Baby. When you start hurting our babies, don't you think that's a little bit of enough is enough? Huh? When they start hurting our babies, enough's enough. That's why I can't overemphasize your importance. I'm only one guy, guys. But with you, we're a lot. And we can make a big dent into the awareness on this planet and the hurting of these sweet little souls that are coming in here, and now they've got genetic bodies that are ripping them and everything else. It's just sad stuff to my heart. And here's a new pile. Look at this. Well, I'm going to take off right now. I love you guys. I get a little passionate sometimes, but you know what? Enough's enough on hurting the folk. You know it? You might be wearing fancy white coats and have a little stethoscope. Anybody can use those. But you don't need to hurt people to make them well. Understanding the lymph system, key, and you all are doing. Sounds like a broken record? Good. Because then you'll get it, and it'll help you to understand why there's pain, why there's swelling, why there's inflammation, why there's tumors, why there's cysts, why there's pimples, why there's skin, why there's all these man-made disease symptoms and stuff, why they exist, and how simple it is to fix it. If you wait your whole entire life and you go through all their pharmaceuticals, you could get like this one person where very hard to save you then. The further you take your body down the road to hell, Bill, the harder it is for us to pull you out of it. So I'm hoping with all our love and all the great souls that are on our site that we can really lift this planet up into a fantastic level so humans can enjoy the human body a little more than they do. Love you guys. Namaste, and may the blessings be. Remember to wake up to God, and who you really are is to wake up from thought. Thinking. Stop it. Love you.